Say it ain't so. They stabbed Tory Lanez 14 times in prison. This is terrible news. I'm not gonna lie to you. I did not want to start my day like that yesterday. It happened first thing in the morning in California. We saw the update come around like 10, 11 our time. We saw TMZ post about it, and then we just started seeing. At first, I was hoping it was fake. I'm like, nah, there's no way this is true. And then we just kept seeing more and more. As soon as TMZ posted, guys, make sure you sub to the channel, like the video, comment down below. We're on that road to 10,000 subscribers. As soon as we hit 10,000 subs, we will be doing a giveaway. If you want to be part of that giveaway, like this video, comment down below, sub up to the channel, send me a screenshot to my Instagram, and you will be added to a wheel, which we will be giving away some merch at 10,000 subs. But Lord, this was sad to see. This was sad to see. Let's see what the news had to say before we start going into deeper information of what we're hearing around the streets on why this could have happened. Tory Lanez, he just put up a picture last week, posted up with jail poses with dudes all around him. I'm like, yo, nobody was with him. He was just walking the yard by himself. Or I heard it wasn't even the yard. That was the first thing people were thinking. But the common area by himself, no one was with him. That just...
Rapper Tory Lanez was stabbed 14 times in a California prison and rushed to a hospital. Officials say that attack happened Monday morning at California's State Correctional Institution. Lanez is currently serving 10 years for shooting Megan Thee Stallion in 2020. His lungs collapsed after that attack, but his team says he's now breathing on his own and he's in good spirits. The motive for this attack is unclear. An investigation is now underway. Lanez's team thanked fans for their prayers and support.
We do see his team also saying that they were down talking at the prison to try to make it seem like it wasn't as bad as it was. Let's break down what their exact post was. Did see a video from academics released when the helicopter is landing at the hospital, bringing Tory Lanez over there as well, while we look for the post that his team posted. But Lord, that broke my heart, just seeing that helicopter landing with Tory on there. Finally see what Tory's team posted. Tory was stabbed 14 times today, including 7 wounds to his back, 4 to his torso, 2 to the back of his head, and 1 to the left side of his face. Both of his lungs collapsed, and he was placed on a breathing apparatus. He is now breathing on his own. Despite being in pain, he is talking normally in good spirits and deeply thankful to God that he is pulling through. He wants to thank everyone for his continued prayers and support. Academics posted, after speaking with Tory's team, Academics TV can exclusively confirm that Tory was in critical condition when he was airlifted to the hospital. Initial reports were put out by a source from the prison to downplay the fact that Tory's injuries were life-threatening. It's a miracle he survived this attack. 7 to the back, 4 to the torso, 2 times to the head, and 1 to the left cheek. And they're talking about his face cheek. A rep for the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation told TMZ that Tory Lanez was attacked by another prisoner in the housing unit at California Corrections Institution, CCI, T-Hug Pappy, around 7:20 this morning. Yo, stabbing somebody at 7:20 this morning is crazy. I'm not even a morning person. I'm taking the crust out of my eyes, and that's the time you decide to attack me. I'm not saying stabbing me at 14 times in the afternoon is better, but damn, 14 times at 7 a.m. is that's the devil's work. Dashed to the scene and began administering first aid to Tory Lanez. After calling 911, Tory was rushed to the hospital off prison guards to receive more treatment. The CDCR spokesperson did not disclose Tory's current conditions. We do hear after that he is doing a lot better, and they're saying that it's a miracle that he was able to survive what we saw.
Spell a few rumors because I've been asked to by my son, Daystar, aka Tory Lanez. Number one, Daystar does not have a drinking problem. He does not have a drinking problem, and that was not the reason why this situation happened. He was not out on the yard, as it was about 6:30 in the morning, and cells were just opened for them to be able to go out to breakfast. On the Thursday prior to this incident, I was called by him, and I was told of the impending threat. And my family and I huddled and did what we always do. We prayed. We get together every single day and we pray. Sometimes it is twice per day. My son, as I stood with him in the hospital room on the first day, my wife being present, said, "Dad, I'm not holding any animosity against this guy. I don't want to take any action against him. Whatever the system does, the system does." But that is his stance, and that is our stance. Might I go a little bit further? Because this will not be the first time I've said this publicly. I bear Megan Thee Stallion no ought at all. In fact, we have prayed for her on many occasions in our times of prayer. So this monster that Alex Spiro tried to create, and when I stood in the courtroom on that day and heard a corrupt prosecutor dismiss the fact that so many people, it was overwhelming the amount of people that sent letters to their office and were called to testify before the courts as they were considering sentence, which had already been decided, and the judge blatantly showed on that day that it really didn't matter what anybody said. It was supposed to be a forum in which it would be decided based on all the extenuating circumstances, etc. But it had already been decided behind closed doors. It's so funny. So moving right along, Daystar did not suffer superficial wounds. He was stabbed 14 times, 5 times in his back, 1 under his left cheekbone. In fact, his jaw was open. He was stabbed twice in the back of his head, and the rest in his torso, arms, and in his chest. It may seem sensational, but thankfully, like Dr. King, it was close to his heart, but did not penetrate. After that, he was being rushed to a facility nearby in a vehicle in which he said, and I quote, "Dad, I thought it was my last. And having made my peace with God, I said, okay, God, is this how it's supposed to end for me?" God said no. God told him, "Do not give up," in the car, upon which he turned to the attending officers and he said, "You must get me to wherever is the closest place that I can get to. I'm bleeding out here." He didn't even know his lungs had collapsed. All he knows is that he couldn't breathe. He could hardly speak. Upon which the officer turned around and looked at him and said, "Nah, we got to take him. He has to be airlifted." And thankfully, to God be the glory, he was airlifted. I want to report to you. So as I'm winding down today, I would like to report to all of you who care about Daystar Peterson, the artist Tory Lanez, around the world. The reports in the hospital is that he is doing remarkably well. I was told yesterday, because they had already taken out the tubes that were draining the fluids from his lungs, they had already taken them out by the time my wife and I got there. And I was told by the nurse, in his particular condition, normally they would have had to leave those tubes in at least a couple more days. But yesterday they took him out because they said he is recovering remarkably. All that is left is for the healing of the wounds. So thank you for all the prayers that have gone up sincerely on behalf of Daystar and my family. We are truly grateful. But this is not over. So I'm reaching out to every prayer warrior around the world who knows what Christ stands for. Please continue to stand with us. As I stated before, Daystar was not drunk on that morning. It was 6:30 in the morning. It was nothing like that. It was an unprovoked attack. I don't want to go into the details of how it went, although I know them, because it is too gory to be describing right now. I got there to the hospital the first day, and typical Daystar, he was entertaining those officers. They were laughing. And he said, "Dad, it only hurts to laugh." But something broke my heart yesterday. When towards the end of our visit, he said, "Is it that my life has to go through so many trials? Why? Why do I have to experience this?" And that's the note that I want to close on, to tell you that this person they've been trying to paint as a monster, that they were so scared when all of those testimonies came in. People I did not even know that he had secretly done things for. This is a guy, he would do things and not even tell anybody.
My first thoughts was, who did this and why? I thought Tory was protected.
I'm going to give you guys yet another update, right? Because I did my background check. You can check out the full video on Renegade Media on YouTube. But this is the suspect that stabbed Tory Lanez, right? In Tehachapi State Prison. And I already explained why he stabbed Tory Lanez, for disrespecting his wife at visit, saying a couple, derogatory words on the tier about his wife. And the man took initiative to defend his wife and stab another inmate. That's why I said it's not really going to be a racial war, and if it does happen, so be it. That's in prison. But I always said it was personal. But let me tell you guys why he's in prison. He's in there for murder, right? He also has an in-house stabbing as well, and he got caught with a bunch of weapons, and he's been known to stab a couple of other inmates. He caught additional time on top of his life sentence. He was 20 years old, living in Lancaster, right? And he was on parole when he started dating a 13-year-old girl named Evelyn. And Evelyn ran away from home from Palmdale, ended up at his house. They had obviously some type of S encounters, you know, some kind of relationships, if you know what I'm talking about. And then things escalated and blew out of proportion where they got into an argument, and he shot 13-year-old Evelyn in the face and killed her. That's why he got sentenced. And the reason why I bring that up is because even though he didn't get charged for it with an S offense because the district attorney went after a murder case, you know, this dude got his spotlight. I'm pretty sure that's what he is enjoying right now. A lot of blogs talk about, you know, the fact that he stabbed Tory Lanez. But let's talk about the fact that he also shot a 13-year-old little girl that he was having sex with when he was 20 years old. So before we start giving this man any credibility, like, yeah, you know, this is for Meg Thee Stallion, this is for her, you know, retaliation, you know, this and this and that, do realize that the man that did it was having sex with her, and he also killed that man. He's doing life without the possibility of parole. So I really don't want to hear no gratitude and no fame and, you know, respects, you know, this is for Megan, you know, or free Tory Lanez, none of that. Because, you know, we're going to give a lot of glorification to a man that doesn't deserve it. Even though a lot of us are bloggers and a lot of us are obviously YouTubers and content creators, we're going to talk about the simple fact that this rapper, singer got blasted in a state prison by some Mexican. All right, well, let's put it all on the table. This Mexican was having sex with a... Now we can criticize him and crucify him in the comment section all over social media for that. The full video will be on Renegade Media on YouTube tomorrow.
I remember Whack 100 talking before that Tory Lanez is protected in prison.
Blue side, people gonna respect Speedy Hand, and on the red side, the homies got him. He's straight. He in there with a dime move from Devil Lanes right now. Just Tory good and he black, so we ain't going for it.
Hey,
he's not a gang member. He got love coming from the West.
The New York Post had put something out saying that Tory was scared, and I remember I talked to some people from the team. They said that was not true.
Every man that goes to the penitentiary is gonna have some fear in them. I don't give a what man that is. The only people that don't fear is return offenders who understand what they're going to.
And I've seen pictures of Tory Lanez with bandanas on his shoulders and everything on there. So I'm like, I thought he was good. I also heard Flacco say that on Christmas, Tory Lanez blessed every single inmate that I guess was in his cell block with commissary. So who would have it in their heart to come after this man?
Tory Lanez got stabbed up in jail.
Oh, Tory Lanez got stabbed on the 50-50 yard?
Yup. That nigga, that nigga, he headed to a LA hospital right now.
Oh, wow, they bust down Tory. What they busted down? They took his story shit. Don't nobody know what happened.
We don't know the full details yet.
Well, wait though. Tory dropped a Kendrick Lamar diss track like a month ago, Brick, you feel me? And niggas was online warning him and sending him threats.
Yeah. It get like that. I don't know why they think Kendrick ain't from nowhere. They keep on underestimating Dot. Dot really from where he from. I ain't gonna say nothing on these lines, but Dot really from where he from.
Yeah.
But this the thing. He on the program yard to where he ain't even. It gotta be over a drug date or something. Because
that's what I
that's
just
the thing,
said.
right? Where he at is no politics as far as gangs and all that. That's why people be trying to go other places where it's structured, because anything go where he at. Like the PCs run the yard. You know what I mean?
Really?
Oh, dude.
Yeah. They ask you when you get there, like, you active or you programming it. You say you programming, they gonna fuck with you. But the PCs got gangs on them yards. They call it the Deuce 5.
Wait,
So
what's it called?
Deuce 5.
PC?
Deuce 5.
It's called the Deuce 5.
Okay.
Look it up. The Deuce 5s. They run the PC yards, and if you tell them you active, they gonna get off on you, because they don't like people who ain't snitching.
Yo, question, right? What's your best advice then for Tory Lanez to navigate jail and not get stabbed up again? Because, you know, like, he's like a celebrity, you know, like, he's probably like new, you feel me, right? Because he's been in jail right now for like a year?
Stop being so friendly with everybody. Don't talk to niggas, man. You got status, man, and use that as your way around here. Look, I'm finna call right.
Okay.
All right.
Well, the phone.
So wait, check this out. I try to tell y'all, I don't think, like, I know people want to run with that Kendrick narrative, but like on the yard he on, like, the first thing I thought about was a drug deal. Like, he owes some money.
Yeah.
Drugs.
Yeah, man, this is
I don't know if
sad.
Kendrick boys got to him on that yard or whoever, but like, and what's that on? What's his hair?
Not like Lynch like that. No, but also too though, bro. Like, bro, Tory Lanez, bro, was just like apparently like buying out and everybody like a commissary and for Christmas.
What?
Yeah, bro. Listen, bro. Is he filled up everybody's like shit to the max?
Oh yeah, he goofy.
Right?
Sure.
You feel me? And he's like billing niggas out. He's doing like the foundation to like you feel me? So he again, bro. When it comes to certain environments, bro, I'm not gonna say it's a coastal issue, but some niggas is just ungrateful, bro. Meaning, bro, it don't matter what you do for them, bro. Fill up like their commissary to the brim. You is out here billing niggas
all the
out.
time, then.
Yeah,
right? Then you gotta do it all the time.
Exactly.
Next time when you don't want
Shout out to Spider Low, OG G-Unit member. We see him get on a phone call with somebody that's inside the prison, and they're saying that it might have been the Mexican. Mexicans. It might have been the Mex. Damn, Donald, you couldn't act any quicker. It might have been the Mex. Allegedly, this might lead to a race war as well. Is this true? I'm not too sure, but the way that he was speaking on the phone, they were saying it's a foul play. Usually a foul play is when you touch someone innocent, not only touch someone innocent, someone that's not gang related, to just run up on them and start stabbing them like that for no apparent reason is a foul play for sure.
This morning, brother, the Mex came out and bust on the boy Tory. You know, they airlifted him and all that, so, you know, no, that's gonna respond when we come off this shit. We're gonna respond the right way to that.
They laid the yard down.
No, it happened in the building.
What was it over? It was over some. What he had did he have a debt, a gambling debt or something?
Nah, nothing like that. Shit, we don't even really know. We don't even know the whole situation, you know.
So it was just like some foul play. So it's finna be up.
Yeah, it's here for sure with some foul play.
Damn, cuz. Wasn't nobody right there with him when it happened? Wasn't nobody right there with him when it went down?
Yeah, I guess.
Now, do I hope this leads to anything more? I pray that it ends here. They went up and caught Tory Lanez is crazy to me. Not only that, we hear when Remo's talking to Brick Baby as well, and he's telling Brick, yo, did you hear that Tory got hit up in here? Brick looked like he didn't know at all. And not only that, when they asked him, yo, what could Tory do to avoid things like this? Brick said he's just way too friendly. He's just trying to be cool with everybody in prison, and that could come to backfire. Do you guys think this is just one race group looking at another race group? Like, you guys having a millionaire over there getting you guys commissary, buying all this, helping people with appeals? You're benefiting one group over another. You're making one race in this prison stronger than the others. Did they just try to make a strategic move and take out a power move for one race group? Is that what we're seeing? I'm praying the Lord that Tory wins his appeal. He needs to come home because he still has a whole bunch more years left. Yeah, they might let him live for another 3 to 4 years. They couldn't finish the mission, but this doesn't mean that this is the last attack. This does not mean that this is the last attack.
Approached by a gentleman named Bradley James. Mr. James informed us he was working as the bodyguard and driver for Miss Kelsey Harris during Mr. Peterson's trial. As such, he was in close proximity and he had privy to conversations she was having with her husband and others. Mr. James informed us he was not under a non-disclosure agreement or a confidentiality agreement and was free to speak with Unite the People, and that he was doing it because his conscience would not let him not speak and leave a man in prison for something he did not do. Mr. James informed Unite the People that he was witness to the conversation Miss Harris had, where she stated she had the gun, she fired it 3 times, Mr. Peterson grabbed her arm and knocked it down 2 more times. In essence, Mr. Peterson never shot anybody, never even touched that gun, never fired the gun. This statement aligns with the statement of the only non-party witness to the case, Mr. Sean Kelly, who at trial testified he saw 2 women fighting, 2 men break up the fight, 1 man grabbed the other one's arm. Gunshots came from the passenger side. The passenger side is where Miss Harris was sitting. This further iterates that Mr. Peterson did not shoot Miss Pete, did not shoot at Miss Pete, or did not assault Miss Pete. It's just another irregularity in a list of irregularities in this case. For example, there were 3 potential suspects in the car that night, and yet the only DNA sample was taken of Mr. Peterson, even though unknown DNA was found on the gun. Why wasn't Miss Harris's DNA taken? Or was it taken and the information simply never given to the defense? Why wasn't the driver of the car, Mr. Jaquan Smith's DNA taken? Or was it taken?
More information that we do hear being released of what happened. We're gonna run straight back to this channel to upload it. You guys know we love Tory, and Tory has shown me nothing but love. He's even done concerts as many times as I told you guys in Boston, wearing our merch from this channel, the Hayamovi merch, on stage.
Present in trial. In fact, there were 3 people that night at the scene who tested positive for gunshot residues. One of those was Kelsey Harris, as Gianno mentioned, the assistant to Megan Pete. According to multiple sworn testaments that you've heard today, including one from the bodyguard and driver with Harris on the 2 days of the trial, Harris admitted to firing the weapon during an emotional outburst. Tory intervened to de-escalate, not to harm. It is important to note, the police did not fingerprint anyone else who had gunshot residue on them that night, only Tory. Why? Even more troubling, The investigation itself was a disaster. Bullet fragments disappeared. The gun's serial number was sealed. A move that blocked the defense from investigating ownership. Police failed to follow standard procedures. Why? Didn't mark shell casings on the road and didn't test others involved that night with DNA. This wasn't justice. It was a rush to judgment. Worse still, the prosecution knew the case was thin. So what did they do? They tacked on gun enhancements, just like they spoke about. The charges, these gun enhancements are meant for gang shootouts and armed robberies to inflate the charges and turn a flimsy accusation into a decade-long prison sentence. Enhancements are a powerful tool against violent offenders, but using them in a case with no forensic evidence, murky testimony, and a defendant with no criminal history, that's very important to point out. He had no criminal history. That's not justice. That's a political stunt. Let's be blunt. This prosecution had everything to do with headlines and very little to do with truth. It was about symbolism, not substance. And that should concern every single one of you here today and in this country. Because when the facts take a back seat to identity, when due process is sacrificed for public spectacle, we all lose. Just yesterday, a Los Angeles court ruled the Menendez brothers, who brutally...
Not only that, letting me chill on the side of his VIP poster with the whole Umbrella crew and everything while he's opening up for Young Thug during the Barter 6 tour. Like, yo, every time he came up there to up north to Boston, he always showed me love in the house. He always showed me love in the House of Blues. And I kind of fell off. I was just young and pop, and Tory was telling me to pull up to the one Umbrella store up there and try to get higher movie within the store, pull up to Toronto. At the time, I didn't have the bread I have. At the time, I had nowhere near the amount of bread that I have now. Let me slow down. I'm still pop, Money Mitch voice. But at the time, yeah, Tory was telling me like, yo, pull up to Toronto, mess with my brother, let's try to see what we could do at the store. I just didn't have the assets to the point that I just kind of slowly fell off because I didn't want to keep wasting his time to then see what he became and see where he ended. I just saw Meg Thee Stallion wearing high heels at Met Gala. Not one bullet wound in sight. It's been so long. Can we please see? That's all I want to know. Show us the bullet wound and we'll stop. Show us the bullet wound and we'll stop. Put a tattoo over the bullet wound and tell us you couldn't take it no more. You had to tattoo over the bullet. But all I remember is her stomping on glass when she got out of that vehicle. That's all I remember. Her getting out of the car. Her Bigfoot self stepping on glass when she came out that vehicle. That's all I remember. That's an innocent man in prison right now. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's an innocent man that we are seeing in prison today. Sub to the channel, man. All you Meg fans that comment on my videos like, he deserves to be there. You guys wonder why you're single. You guys wonder why you're single. You're wishing bad on a black man that we haven't even seen proof that he did with Free Tory Lanez. Free Tory Lanez.